Like Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa, Tony Romo has been knocked down, but once again, he's back up. Romo returns to the starting lineup after missing 7 games with a broken collarbone, and his teammates are excited because they think it gives the Cowboys a chance to get back in the win column, which begins with round 1 today in Miami. Another NFC East contender leaving haymakers lately, Washington's Kirk Cousins. In that blowout victory over the Saints last week, Cousins racked up the first perfect passer rating of any quarterback in the league this season. A win today, and he's leading a first-place team, but he'll have to get there with a little road work down in Carolina, where MVP candidate Cam Newton and the undefeated Panthers await. Jimmy, at 9-0, are they the undisputed best team in the NFC right now?
Well, Kurt, up to this point, Carolina has proven on the field they are the best.
The opening bell for those games sound in just about an hour. Then later on Fox, our main event. The NFL's leading rusher, Adrian Peterson, and the first-place Vikings look to extend their lead in the NFC North with a 6th straight win, while giving Green Bay a 4th consecutive loss and forcing Aaron Rodgers to spell H-E-L-P. We're here to help you get all set for all the action here in Week 11. It's the one and only Ford Fox NFL Sunday pregame show, brought to you by the Ford F-150, built Ford tough. Come on in and stay a while, folks. I'm Kurt Menefee. A big thanks to Michael B. Jordan for kicking off our show. His new movie, Creed, hits theaters with advanced screenings this Tuesday. It's everywhere on Wednesday. Today, it's all, though, about playoff fighting around the National Football League. The championship belt for most watched pregame show, of course, goes to this. Courtesy of Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. And we should start things off by saying a belated happy birthday to Michael Strahan. Yesterday was your birthday.
Thank you.
Hey.
And as Jimmy said to me earlier today when we were here, how old are you? And somebody said 51. And I said, come on, Jimmy, you don't believe that. He said, you really expect me to know how old you are when your birthday is? So, Jimmy, I am 44 years old, and I thank you for really being concerned and caring.
Michael, who cares?
I know when your birthday
Well,
is.
look at Mr. Grinch over there. By the way, yesterday was also Troy Aikman's birthday.
Yeah.
Troy's doing a game later today on Fox. You care about that one?
I do care about that one.
Okay, you got a couple rings to care about that one. That's why. Let's get back to football. And earlier we mentioned Cam Newton. Well, this week he might have been involved in the dumbest non-controversy of the year. That's what starts off our K Jewelers headlines. And to paraphrase the great Allen Iverson, we talking about dancing, man. Dancing. And it all began after this touchdown last Sunday. Of his hometown Atlanta, he broke out the dab while mixing in a little hit them folks dance. After the Titans objected, he did it again. And now some players around the league are saying Cam might have a bullseye on his back. One fan even wrote a letter to the paper asking how she could explain it to her children. Well, Newton defended his celebration saying, quote, it takes me to my happy place. Maybe he's been reading Strahan's book, Wake Up Happy, which is what Michael did Monday after finally winning a game in the pitch contest.
Oh, y'all are so wrong for that.
The fans woke up sad because their starting quarterback is either benched or banged up. So Brock Osweiler, Mark Sanchez, Matt Hasselbeck, T.J. Yates, and Case Keenum will start today. Meanwhile, Carson Palmer, Jake Cutler, and Ryan Fitzpatrick each faces his former team, with Palmer admitting going against the Bengals is not just another game after their ugly divorce a few years back. Speaking of ugly, TB was too hard on himself last week, saying he wasn't attractive and that he didn't get a spandex commercial because of it. Well, TB, the dream lives on. The spandex folks called. They said, hey, look, you got the job. Congratulations. Just another cover boy up there on the set. That's all he is.
The full bodysuit, though.
Hey. All right, guys, look, you look around the National Football League, 5 of the 8 division leaders have a 3-game cushion. Cincinnati could make that 6 of 8 tonight. The divisions are pretty much set. Let's look at the top of each conference. Undefeated team there. In the AFC, it's 9-0 New England. And Michael in the NFC, 9-0 Carolina.
Yeah, 9-0 Carolina, led by that guy we were just talking about, Cam Newton. But it's not just Cam Newton. Cam Newton did lose his top receiver in Benjamin earlier in the year. Now I think Funchess is going to start because he lost another guy. But everybody's been talking about Greg Olsen and how a receiving threat he was. This is a guy who never was a receiving threat. I just think coming to that system, seeing the situation that they're under, losing guys, he has really stepped his game. He's a lot like
Jason Witten.
What do you say about Jason Witten?
How's he open?
How's he open? You can't figure it out. But these guys he's a great football player, just understands the feel of the game. And also they're running behind Jonathan Stewart, who's they've had the third best rushing offense in the league. And then they have a great defense led by Luke Kuechly. And with those combinations of a team, a unit, this team, is surprising everybody in a way. But when you play that way, it's really no surprise.
If you don't like Cam's dancing, Stop him. Yeah. It's really simple. And Cam made a statement this week, and I thought it showed the kind of maturation that Cam has gone through over the last couple of years. Are we the most talented team in football? No, we're not. Are we the best team in football? We're hoping to be. And I think everyone comes in with the same mindset when you play the Carolina Panthers. You're seeing 500-plus pounds of running back if you're counting Cam and Stewart, and Cam is like a running back in that offense. It's unconventional. It's not traditional. You better buckle your chin strap up and get your head right. And on defense, Washington had a lot of success last week with the screen passes, a lot of short passes. Those passes don't work versus Kuechly, versus Davis, versus Shaq Thompson. So much speed at the linebacker position for them.
And how will you look at the other undefeated team with New England? Now, Bill Belichick gets all kind of praise for he's an outstanding, great coach. But the thing that impresses me most is how he evaluates and utilizes talent. I mean, he takes guys off the street. He takes guys that are cast-offs from other teams that nobody's heard of, and they're stars. Jonas Gray rushes for over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. Where's he today? Where did he come from? Dion Lewis, he had a big spark. Now he's out. You lose Revis, best cornerback in football, and, well, let's say Malcolm Butler. Now, he made a nice play in the Super Bowl, but he is a free agent from West Alabama. Not Alabama, West Alabama.
Where is that?
I don't know. And he's playing great. He has all these guys, that play outstanding, and you've never heard of them. Now, Tom Brady, you say got him, but he won 10 games with Matt Castle.
You say Tom Brady, you said it all. I mean, American Fable run all those great races and our first Triple Crown winner. So every time I'd see him load up in the chute, I'd say, he's going to win. Every time I watch New England, I say, they're going to win. Belichick and Brady. And then the fact that you can take a coach and he gets rid of one of the greatest kickers in the history of the NFL, and Adam Vinatieri, and goes out and brings in Stephen Gostkowski, who kicks a 54-yarder last week to beat the New York Giants. Belichick, amazing man. Truly amazing.
Well, those two teams have not lost a game all season. The Dallas Cowboys haven't won a game since week 2. That was the last time Tony Romo got to start at quarterback. He is back as their starter this week after missing 7 games with that broken collarbone. We bring in our NFL insider, Jay, for more on that. The question, Jay, is he 100%?
Well, look, I think the bone is healed, but it's not as strong as you'd like it to be. In fact, Romo told me this morning that over the next couple weeks, it's still in jeopardy of re-breaking. I'm sure people said, then why are you out there? He said, this is what I do. If I can be out there with my teammates, I'm going to do it. In the meantime, they're putting a protective pad that they're sewing inside his shirt. He said, look, am I going to be rusty? Sure, I don't know, but I've been busting my butt these last 2 weeks. If there's any chance I can help my team, I'm going to be out there.
All right, look, Romo is back. Somewhat surprisingly, Colin Kaepernick won't be. He was placed on IR this week, and a lot of people assume this means it's the last time we've seen him in San Francisco. Is that definite?
Well, first of all, he actually is having surgery on his labrum this coming week. But the big if is who's the coaching staff going to be. And I say that if Jim Thomas Sewell is the coach there, obviously something's got to change. But if there's somebody else that comes in, maybe they fall in love with Colin Kaepernick. Maybe they don't. It's kind of like last year with the Chicago Bears. We all assumed that Jay Cutler and his contract were going to be released. That wasn't the case. John Fox came in and said, these guys don't grow on trees. They kept him. Same thing. The big date here, though, is April 1st. On that day, if Colin Kaepernick is a 49er, $11.9 million gets guaranteed of his salary.
All right, let's keep it in the NFC West and first place to Arizona. A lot of people thought at some point we'd see their Pro Bowl linebacker Darrell Washington back from that suspension. But it hasn't happened. Why not?
Roger Goodell was actually asked that 2 days ago in Arizona. He said, I can't talk about it. Confidentiality. However, I have learned that he has continued to have violations on the NFL drug program. Very sad story. There are certain guidelines he has to hit. He is not. There are certain people that fear that his career could be over.
All right, his future appears to be very dark. We'll talk about the future of Peyton Manning with you just a little bit later. We've got that and much more on the way as we continue here on the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show.
Coming up. It's been a rough go for some quarterbacks this season, but the league doesn't pause for injuries. Terry breaks down the backups next. No team knows this struggle quite like Dallas, who've lost 7 straight. But guess who's back? Can Romo and the boys still win the East? We'll discuss. And although his team has been struggling, the Seahawks' Michael Bennett always makes time for family. We head to Seattle to take a ride with the Bennetts. Plus, we'll hear more scoop from Jay and get the picks from Riggle as we continue the countdown to kickoff.
This is the Ford F-150, the only pickup with a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body bolted to a high-strength steel frame. It's also a wake-up call for every full-size pickup in its class. No body rust, most towing, best payload, highest gas mileage. Yeah, it's a whole new day. Because in the truck game, it's either the aluminum age or the stone age. Cock-a-doodle-doo, pal. This is the Ford F-150, and every other truck is history.
When you unwrap the triple treat box from Pizza Hut, it'll turn any night into a holiday night.
2 pizzas? Can we keep them? Ooh, breadsticks and a cookie.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle.
Can we keep him?
The triple treat box. 2 medium pizzas, breadsticks, and a Hershey's cookie. Unwrap this incredible box at an incredible price, just $19.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
Thought we were watching the game. Sorry, Bolton's over.
It's game day in America. Across the country, fans are watching football in a whole new way. You join a league, we pick a team, and we compete like never before. Today, watching football is more exciting than ever. Because today, we FanDuel. Start today and join the millions who've already played FanDuel. Enter the promo code, and we'll refund your entry fee if you don't win.
The beast was as long as the boat. For 7 hours we did battle, until I said, "You will not beat me!"
Break. What should I do with your fish?
Gary, just put it in the cooler.
If you're a fisherman, you tell tales. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Put the fish in the cooler!
The one and only Ford Fox NFL Sunday pregame show is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. And by Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box. Make any night a holiday.
Well, there are 6 quarterbacks who started the season as the number 2 guy on the depth chart. Today, they're number 1. We'll cover the new starters on the field presented by Microsoft Surface.
On the Field, presented by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
All right, Terry Bradshaw, out of these 6 guys, 4 of them are making their first start of the season for their respective teams. But give me the mentality of a team, the rest of the guys, when the backup comes in.
Well, if you have a starter who has performed poorly in his bench, such as the case of Nick Foles with the Rams, and the players see the backup taking that shot, then they get excited for this guy, all right? Even though today it's Keenan, a young man out of the University of Houston. Now, if you have a starter that's injured and goes out, Romo, for example, and all the problems they had in Dallas, that whole team went down. Romo's back today, and you can feel the emotion as it's lifted up. So being benched and being hurt, 2 different things.
All right, break down the 4 new guys for Well, Sanchez, not new, but making his first start this year for Philly.
He's a guy's got experience. He's taken Jets to 2 AFC championship games. Of all the kids starting today, first time this year, Sanchez is the one guy that I have the most confidence in, even though he turns it over a lot.
What about Brock Osweiler? 6'8", now trying to replace Peyton Manning for at least a little while.
Big, strong arm kid. What happens is one of the good things for Osweiler is the fact that every Wednesday he has taken all the reps as a starting quarterback while Peyton has sat and they've rested him. Also, they'll be able to use all their offense today. Bootlegs, getting out the things that Peyton hasn't been able to do because of injuries. Osweiler can do it. And great athlete, big-time arm.
And today is his 25th birthday. See if he gives himself a birthday present. All right, you mentioned him a little bit earlier, Case Keenum. Yeah. Now the new starter, replacing Nick Foles in St. Louis.
Bench cut. Crazy thing, this backup stuff. But Case is a guy out of the University of Houston, about 6'1", 205, threw for 19,000 yards. Now, you throw for that kind of yards, folks, honest to God, America, you got to figure this guy's going to be huge in the NFL. But not. The guy just hasn't played. Getting another chance to start today, and I expect him to play well. Listen, Any Rams quarterback can play better than what we've been getting from Foles lately.
All right, what about T.J. Yates? He becomes the third starter down there this year for the Houston Texans.
Well, he's a North Carolina, went to the University of North Carolina. He's a one guy, folks, that has started and has won football games. As a matter of fact, has been the quarterback when they beat Cincinnati Bengals 3 times. Another guy that inspires a football team. One thing about backup quarterbacks, and T.J. Yates is one of those, is the fact that they will come in and give you a little spurt of good things, but there's a reason they're the backup, and they're going to go right back to the bench. Only guy I think has a future is Osweiler, future starter with the Denver Broncos.
Hey, speaking of Osweiler being the future starter, when we come back, we'll take a look at the guy that he is replacing for at least today. Will it be long-term? Is this the end of the road for one of the all-time greats in Peyton Manning? Meanwhile, we'll discuss another veteran quarterback making his return, but what kind of impact will Tony Romo actually have, and are the Cowboys poised for a comeback? We've got all that and much more as Fox NFL Sunday rolls on.
If you have Verizon, then you have football in the palm of your hand. Watch live local games on NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
'Twas Thanksgiving, and in the U.S., Verizon is solving holiday stress. Get Black Friday deals, new tech, and more. Thanksgiving is here, and there's so much in store. Get your shopping done early. It's as easy as pie. Even with wish lists that reach really, 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 really high. Get tablets, phones, and headphones too. Great gifts for friends and family, and of course for you. Get it online or in store to keep shopping light. It's all at Verizon, Thursday to Monday night.
Jack, what up? Have you heard the good news? TMZ Sports, weekdays at midnight, except for Wednesdays at 12:30. Now on FS1.
I love running errands. You give me a to-do list, I'm to-doing the do out of it. Because the Sirius XM free listening event is on now, so I can cruise my favorites. Soft rock, hard rock, dance, kids craving Saturday morning donuts, and I'm one happy errand boy.
The SiriusXM free listening event. 2 glorious weeks of commercial-free music plus sports, comedy, news, and talk. Hi. Hit the SAT button on your inactive satellite radio now through December 2nd.
Hey, what's up, Troy? Okay, that it? That'll do it.
Excuse me.
Hey, man.
Huge fan, man.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, the touchdowns and the wins and...
Yeah, you know, I don't like to dwell on the past, but thank you.
Aikman, touchdown, unbelievable. Aikman, touchdown, unbelievable. Aikman, touchdown, unbelievable.
I dwell on the past. I would too.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
I've seen the prizes and the amount of people just skyrocket.
FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues run all the way through the playoffs.
Every week, you have a brand new, fresh slate.
There's so many contests from $1 to $1,000, and they're huge prize pools.
It's not over yet. Keep your season alive and join the millions of people who've already won money with FanDuel's one-week leagues.
You're already in a fantasy league. You already know all the information.
Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Go to FanDuel.com and enter promo code AGILE2.
Way up in the North Pole, a penguin loaded a toy car onto a racetrack. Zoom. It took off. Going faster and faster and twisting and turning until finally it stopped. Right at halfway.
But Dad, penguins live in the South Pole.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event is going on now with some of the most magical deals of the year. This is the pursuit of perfection.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
Hi, I'm UFC champion Holly Holm. My nickname in the fighting world is the Preacher's Daughter. But when I was starting in boxing, I used to be known as the Hottie. That is, until I got this letter in the mail a few years ago. It says, "Dear Holly, I'm a big fan, but can you stop using the nickname Hottie? That's my nickname." Signed, Terry the Hottie Bradshaw. Terry, the name's all yours.
Hey, you know, I'm thinking, sometimes you just got to let them know.
I'm thinking her, you,
She's
her.
infringing on some of my stuff.
Well, we saw it was a spandex cover boy earlier on the show, so he is a hottie, I guess.
Oh, I got to get
all the pizza franchises this man owns. Maybe we should call Peyton Manning Doughboy. Whatever you call him, he has just about every passing record in NFL history. And is the league's only 5-time MVP. The one question left, is it all over for him?
Peyton Manning has the most passing yards in NFL history as he eclipses Brett Favre's mark.
Now he throws a long pass near side for Latimer. It's intercepted by Ron Parker. 9 possessions, 5 3-and-outs, and 4 interceptions.
Well, if anyone knows, it's our NFL insider, Jay Glazer. Jay, is it over for Manning?
Look, Peyton Manning is dealing with 2 injuries. That's correct. He has an injury right here in the oblique, one in the foot as well. But remember, this is the same guy who played through 2 torn quads as well. I think more than anything, Kurt, it actually came at a very convenient time for the team. Look, Peyton Manning has run one offense for 17 years. All of a sudden, he's running Gary Kubiak's, and quite frankly, he's just not been effective. So this gives them the opportunity to say, Peyton, sit down, get healthy, and we're going to bring Brock Osweiler in, who's a free agent after the year as well. We already know Peyton Manning won't be there next year. Brock Osweiler, they have to see if he's going to be the future of the team. I will tell you this. If Brock Osweiler plays well today, I do think it's going to be difficult for Peyton Manning to get back in there. And every time you talk to anybody on that team, going into last night, they're like, we cannot wait to see what this kid could do because Kubiak wants his offense run the right way.
Oh, wow. That's a big scoopage there. Should it come to fruition? Thanks a lot, Jay. Let's start the rundown here. And actually, the first question is this the last that we've seen of Peyton Manning, in your opinion? But I want to start with you specifically, Jimmy, because as we sat around last Sunday, you watched the way he played, and you say, he will probably get benched, and they'll say it's because of injury.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we've seen the last of Peyton Manning. I think the only way he sees the field is if Osweiler, if he gets hurt toward the end of the year, they might bring Peyton back. But I think we've seen the end of it.
Maybe I'm naive, but I think if Peyton gets healthy, they get in the playoffs, which they more than likely will. I think Peyton's going to be the closer. I think this guy's a middle reliever.
I think Gary Kubiak, when he came over, should have looked at this guy and said, okay, let's run the offense he's been running. All right? This isn't college where you recruit kids to suit your offense. Right. I think the mistake was taking a 17-year veteran, a guy, and giving him 1 year in your offense and expecting him. I don't care who you are. You can't run that offense. I don't think Kubiak was very smart in his forcing this offense on Peyton.
And I'm naive like Howie. I would love to see Peyton Manning make a comeback. And who wants to see that as the last vision that you have of Peyton Manning?
But you don't like seeing what you saw last week.
No,
he was playing poorly.
And I think we will see Gary Kubiak's offense in full now that Osweiler's running the offense.
Looking at Peyton, his team's much better, but it reminds you of the end for Brett Favre down there in Minnesota. Yeah. Physically couldn't stay healthy, and so that became the reason. Let's look at teams on the other side. 21 of the 32 NFL teams are 500 or worse. Which is the best of those 21 teams?
There are 2, in my opinion, Seattle and the Giants. I mean, these are both teams who've blown fourth-quarter leads. The Giants, in a lot of time management, we've talked about. And in Seattle, with defensively, uncharacteristically, giving up leads at the end.
Offense struggling.
Struggling.
I think Seattle's the most talented team by far. I really do.
Giants?
Yeah.
I know one thing. Don't let those Giants get in this playoff. They can win the NFC East and probably will. And they're the one team, in my opinion, that could go and beat New England Patriots. As far as I'm concerned right now.
Should have beat them last week.
More than likely the only team. But their problem will be getting to that point.
Right, getting to the playoff.
Yeah.
Hey, the Falcons started off 5-0. They're now 6-3. What happened?
Everybody started, taking away Julio Jones. Julio Jones injured a little bit, taking away Freeman. You look at the last 4 games, they've averaged a little bit over 16 points. And their defense struggling too, Howie. I mean, they're trying to run Seattle.
Yeah.
They don't have Seattle's players.
Yeah, he's made decisions. We've sat here and he's made decisions in game that and it's almost as if he thinks he has Seattle's defense on the sideline going in. No.
He doesn't.
No.
He doesn't. Well, we'll find out right now. They're trying to
fly
hold
around. They fly around. I think he's had a really...
Did they make the playoffs?
No.
Wow. All right.
I think so.
Plenty of weeks to figure that out from now. But right now, let's get to our refreshing rookie, brought to you by Pepsi. And Michael Strahan, you get the honors today to talk about Washington's rookie running back.
Yes, the football life of a running back is a little... 3 years, which is not a long time, but it's the one position that can make an immediate impact. And Matt Jones, who's a 3rd-round pick from Florida, he's doing just that. Jones owns Washington's longest touchdown run from scrimmage of 39 yards. And last Sunday, he flashed some nifty moves a la Jimmy Johnson on a screen pass from Kirk Cousins. And now Jones has his team's longest touchdown catch, too, 78 yards. And the Panthers, they won't be as easy as the Saints were last Sunday, but it's refreshing to know that given some space, Jones, he could take it to the house.
Yeah, Jones definitely a big part of the reason that Washington has won 4 in a row at home. But today they're on the road where they have lost 6, or make that 8 in a row. Maybe that means Deshaun Jackson and company are due? Question mark. They'll try to defeat the undefeated Panthers. Josh Norman will have a little to say on that. No one in the league has more than his 2 defensive touchdowns. And speaking of 2s, Tampa tries to win 2 in a row for the first time in 2 years. Jameis Winston leads them into Philly for that matchup with Murray and the Eagles. DeMarco may have to be the man with the backup quarterback starting now. Down in Miami, Jason Witten could become just the 2nd tight end in league history with 1,000 career receptions. He's only 8 away from joining Tony Gonzalez. And after being away for more than a month with a knee injury, Terry's nephew is back. Hey, man.
Good to have him back.
It's been a long time coming.
Terry Bradshaw? What a surprise.
You know what else is a surprise? Shingles. And I can hit you out of nowhere. I know. I had it. Come on. Let's sit down and talk about it. And did you know that 1 in 3 people will get shingles?
No. That's why I'm reminding people, if you had chicken pox, then the shingles virus is already inside you. Ooh. Who's had chicken pox? Scoot over. And look,
That nasty rash can pop up anywhere, and the pain
can be even worse than it looks. A doctor or pharmacist about a vaccine that can help prevent shingles.
Being a rookie sucks. Being a rookie sucks more with Jolly Rancher.
Dance, girly man! Dance! I'm a little teapot short.
Keep on sucking.
For a short time, only one place will have the season's best deal. It's Applebee's. Introducing the Taste the Change menu for $10. With dishes like crispy chicken, brisket enchiladas, and steak and stout gravy. Get a taste before it's gone. The Taste the Change for $10 menu, only at Applebee's.
Okay, so the government crash tested the F-150. The one with the high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body, bolted to a high-strength steel frame. And guess what? It made the strongest statement any truck can make. It pulled a 5-star safety rating on all sides for every cab configuration. Because when they say military grade, they mean battle tested. This is the Ford F-150, and every other truck is history.
Hey, Chip, how'd the discount double check work for you?
Great. State Farm combined my home and auto, so saved me big. Just wish I double checked those 80s throwback uniforms, so. One for you. You cannot believe I found your size. Whoop. Look at that, huh? Could have sworn he said the 1880s. You liked them, though, right?
No, I didn't.
It pays to double check. Save when you combine your home and auto insurance.
Got some folding to do.
Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Sign in or sign up with Visa Checkout to get half off menu price pizzas from PizzaHut.com.
Why do you only want half a pizza?
I'm pretty sure you still get the whole pizza. You just pay for half.
I wonder which half is the free half.
Probably the bottom half. Can you get one, Dad?
You can actually get 2 halves. It's a math joke.
Sign in or sign up with Visa Checkout to get half off menu price pizzas from PizzaHut.com.
Visa, everywhere you want to be.
Is the person who killed Nicole Brown Simpson in this room?
All right, time now for our McDonald's screen pass. And in our production meeting, Howie said, hey, that all-day breakfast thing at McDonald's, it's a game changer.
Game changer.
Everybody agrees with that. So why don't we start with you? The Cowboys will battle the Dolphins today. Of course, everyone knows they get Tony Romo back. But they also get back linebacker Sean Lee. Howie, is Lee a game changer on defense?
He's a total game changer. He reminds me a lot of Luke Kuechly. He's a special player. The big question is whether he can stay on the field and stay healthy.
Well, because they play in the NFC East, the Cowboys, along with everybody else in the division, are still alive for the playoffs, and that includes the 4-5 Philadelphia Eagles, who take on the 4-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, earlier, we heard TB's take on Mark Sanchez's return to the starting lineup. But from a team management point of view, Jimmy, is either Sanchez or the injured Sam Bradford the long-term answer?
Well, neither are franchise quarterbacks. They're backups at best. But the question is, can Philadelphia find somebody better?
That is a big question. And despite all of that, they're only half game out of first place. Same story for Washington, who tries to do what no one else has been able to do so far, beat Carolina. In his career, Cam Newton has already passed and rushed for a TD in the same game 30 times, one short of Steve Young's NFL record. Plus, He's only 5 rushing TDs short of Otto Graham's all-time mark for QBs. Young played 15 seasons to do that. Graham 10, Cam in just his 5th year. So, Michael, with those numbers, is Newton the best rushing quarterback of all time?
I mean, those numbers are amazing and definitely the best in the game right now. I'm not sure about in the history of the game because I'm still thinking about Steve Young, Randall Cunningham, and a young Michael Vick. But, you know, Cam, wow, what a great player.
All right, on the other side of the field today, Washington has won 2 of 3. We bring in one of the guys calling that game, Charles Davis. And, Charles, how can they possibly make it 3 or 4 by pulling off the huge upset today?
Well, Kurt, what they have to do is run the balls they did against New Orleans. We know that it was easier to do it against them than it will be against Carolina. But I'm going to set the number 120 yards, a combination of Alfred Morris and Matt Jones. The second thing, Kirk Cousins has to continue to ascend as a quarterback. In their 4 of their 5 losses, he's thrown 2 or more interceptions. But in the last 3 games, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's the Kirk Cousins they need. And last but not least, they have to tug on Superman's cape. They've got to find a way to get Cam Newton on the ground, either pass rush or when he's running the football. And the first people to hit Cam Newton all game long cannot be the defensive backs. The big guys have to be up front and have to slow him down.
All right, have a good call today. Washington at 4-5, still alive, obviously, in the NFC East. Dallas at 2-7. They believe that hope is still alive because they got their Messiah back in the lineup today.
I think the Dallas Cowboys, really could have a great year.
That can be one of a handful of teams that could be expected to win the Super Bowl.
I've said Super Bowl a few times.
In the end zone, it's how do you do?
Any win's big, but obviously division rival, first game.
It's Philadelphia and Dallas. I mean, that's as good as it gets.
Romo is down there and he's grabbing his left shoulder.
It changes the complexity of the season.
NFL really is about adversity in general. It's how you handle it, how you approach it. It never feels good whenever you get hurt.
But the next guy's got to go in there and play.
My job is to go out and execute, take care of the football.
Throws it right into the defense, picked off.
They continue to beat themselves.
There had to be a change.
When we have opportunities to make plays, we got to make the plays.
Castle fires, and he's picked off again.
As a fan, it's really hard to be in the position that we're in.
The whole thing is a dumpster fire.
This locker room has no one in charge of it.
He haven't won a game in 2 months. They're not the same organization without Tony Romo.
I'm back.
For me, it's just about going out and being yourself and being the quarterback for this team.
Just has a spirit. So anytime you get that back on game day, that certainly makes a difference for everybody.
It's clear that he's an elite quarterback and he's played at a high level for a long time.
Just to have Tony back means a lot. He's the quarterback. He's the key guy.
Found myself singing in the shower a little bit this morning.
At the defense, we got to find a way to get him the ball because we know he can produce.
With him coming back, does it help? Absolutely it helps, but we still have to play good football.
Romo will make the difference.
The season's not over. It's far from it. We just need to understand that we're getting started. I want everyone to know we're not done yet.
Now, it is great to have, Tony back on the field, but Jerry singing in the shower? Think of that visual. Ooh.
He's great. He's great.
But anyway, hey, Tony being back on the field, he's going to have to get a great performance of his supporting cast, and they should be able to run the football against that 31st run defense of Miami. The other thing is Jason Witten to have a big day against a depleted linebacker core, for Miami.
I think Tony Romo, if healthy, I think Tony Romo makes everyone around him better. Defense, wide receivers, tight end, running game gets better. Offensive line will be more fired up. There's certainly a bigger sense of urgency. Blitz pickup is a big key. They picked up Turbin this week. McFadden's been banged up. It's interesting. This is a team that has to kind of run the table. The schedule's brutal. Are the odds against them doing that? Yes, but I think we're going to find out whether it's a lost season within the next 5 days.
But the NFC East is still, they can do that.
Hard to believe.
Exactly. I think one of the things that's going in Tony's favor today, he has already had this injury once before. So he had to come back. Now, he missed the rest of the season and came back. But the key is he knows how to handle it. The only problem he's going to have today, he's going to be nervous in the pocket. He's not going to be comfortable. And he's going to have to settle in. And the other thing is, obviously, in his mind, it's human nature. When you get hit and you're going down and you have a huge man on top of you, and if he's driving you from your right side, that's how he broke his collarbone the previous 2 times. Today, I look for them to get the ball out of his hand quickly and have the opportunity for him to make plays, primarily, I think, in the second half.
Well, he should be nervous. I mean, he's got the Dominic Sue, one of the best finishers in the league across from him. But did you ever have this injury on your shoulder?
Yes.
How did you get better? How did you learn from it?
Well, I had a pin put in mine.
Okay.
I had mine put back
Did you learn how to fall?
I learned how to fall.
How did you learn how to fall?
What did they tell you during practice? Hey, Terry, go over there and just fall.
No, actually, since I didn't have a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator, I had to teach myself. You got to tuck. You got to tuck that shoulder. Keep the elbow from being boom.
But don't you think as a defensive lineman, you don't know that? A lot of time when you see how he was finished and hurt it, when you go down with a guy, you give him a little extra pull and you put him on that
business.
shoulder. You give him a little bit of the extra business.
Serious.
So whenever you have a guy who has that injury and I'm going to hit you and I know you have it, I'm not trying to hurt you, but I'm just trying to make you uncomfortable.
The running back position on blitz pickup is key. That's something DeMarco Murray also did very well.
There's still 7 weeks left to go, so the Cowboys believe they've got a shot. But I'll tell you what, if you look at the difference between Dallas with him and without him,
stop, drop, and roll.
You can make a crazy argument for Romo being an MVP candidate because this team without him has no shot.
Yeah.
And we've seen that clearly. Up next, Jay Glazer, all the late-breaking injury news. We'll see if Terry's on the injury report. Plus some funny stuff from Rob Riggle. But first, time to hop on the bus, Gus.
On the early bus headed to the stadium. On a big game this week against Houston. You know, we need this win. And it's also a big game for me because my mom is here. This is the first time she's going to watch me play as a New York Jet, as a professional.
What's up, guys? On the bus today. About to play the Chicago Bears. They're a great team. They're playing really well right now, so we can't take them light. We have to go out, play together, play strong, play fast, and come out with the victory.
There she is, beautiful as can be.
See you guys out there. She sees the world a little differently. And by some miracle, she actually said yes to me.
Tell her everything you love about her with Charmed Memories at Kay Jewelers, featuring the new Charmed Memories Star Wars collection. And this Thursday through Sunday, get this free bracelet or charm valued up to $45 with any Charmed Memories purchase of $99.99 or more. At Kay, the #1 jewelry store in the galaxy.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Co-workers, it's me, a businessman, and not Colonel Sanders. Don't you just hate those long days when you're so busy doing business things that you can't make a hot, home-cooked meal for the family? Well, I just picked up a $20 family fill-up from KFC, hand-breaded with 11 herbs and spices.
Do you even work here?
Well, of course I do, Terry. Lisa, Claire, Tiffany, Hazel. It's finger-licking good.
This Thanksgiving, 4 of the most exciting teams in college basketball square off in the Continental Tire Las Vegas Invitational. Thanksgiving on FS1.
Opportunity has no slow season, no off days or downtime. Opportunity is everything you make of it. This winter, take advantage of our season's best offers on the latest generation of Cadillac. The 2016 Cadillac ATS. Get this low mileage lease from around $269 per month or purchase with 0% APR financing.
Every insurance policy has a number, but not every insurance company understands the life behind it. For those who've served and the families who've supported them, we offer our best service in return. USAA, we know what it means to serve. Get an insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
When you booked this trip, you didn't know we had over 11,000 local activities listed on our app, or that you could book them right from your phone. A few weeks ago, you still didn't know if you were going to go. Now the only thing you don't know is why it took you so long to come here. Expedia, technology that connects you to the people and places that matter.
Hey, what's up, Troy? Okay, that it?
That'll do it.
Excuse me.
Hey, man.
Huge fan, man.
Oh, thank you.
All the touchdowns and the wins and...
Yeah, you know, I don't like to dwell on the past, but thank you.
Aikman, touchdown, unbelievable. Aikman, touchdown, unbelievable. Aikman, touchdown, unbelievable.
I dwell in the past.
I would too.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
Seattle's going to the Super Bowl.
This is a dynasty in the NFC.
The Seahawks missing on all cylinders. The season hasn't gone according to plan. How about this Arizona Cardinals squad?
Right now, the best team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals.
The Arizona Cardinals grab a firm grip on the NFC West.
Now, we may have seen a little changing of the guard last week as the first-place Arizona Cardinals took control of the NFC West with a win in Seattle. No matter what, one thing we know, first place or last place, Seattle's Michael Bennett is a good player and a different cat.
Those are the kind of things that come back to haunt you later on.
You better keep that demon outside of your heart. You better keep that demon outside.
I mean, the mood is never good when you lose, man. The mood was kind of gloomy, but I have to stand in the middle and make sure to let them know it's not the end of the world. We still got 7 games to go. There's definitely a happy medium in taking your job really seriously and then taking your job home with you, because sometimes it bears in on your family because focus on the loss, that you forget that you have to be a father, you have to be a husband, you have to be a brother. So along the way in this journey, you really have to figure out who you are, and I think that's the problem a lot of athletes have. You know, who am I? I think it's hard to be an individual now, and I think that's where I thrive at, is being myself. I think a lot of people that know me, they always say, man, you always being yourself. So I think that's just great for me, just to be me.
Got Michael Bennett riding a police officer's bike around the field, waving at the fans.
Well, usually when a black man takes something from a cop, it usually ends up bad. This time, luckily, we won an NFC championship, and they actually gave it to me, so I just took it around the stadium. I didn't know it was going to turn it into such a big ordeal. Taking that bike kind of really changed my persona around the city. When I had my daughter, it really kind of had a switch in my life and kind of got really focused on the things that I needed to do. And I think your family loving you is the most important thing. I mean, who cares if I get 100 sacks and my daughter doesn't time with me or my wife doesn't love me, but I'm a Hall of Famer, and I think at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, is the love around the house. Well, first I start off with my wife, the Queen Pele. She's the controller of everything. And then there's Peyton, my 9-year-old. She's kind of like me because she says everything she wants to say, and sometimes it's not the appropriate time. And then there's my 4-year-old Blake. We call her the boss because she used to love listening to Rick Ross. Not the words, but the beats of the songs. And there's Ali, AKA Lil Muhammad Ali. I think she's going to be some kind of CEO because she's definitely in control of everything that goes around in the house. Football is so barbaric, and I have to do so many crazy things out there. I say things I would never say at home. So having these daughters, they kind of, balance me and level me out. For me, I try to just have fun every day. I try to live my life every day like it's the last one. You never know when your last day is. Sometimes I think people get mad at me because they think I'm making too many jokes, but hey, I can't complain. I'm living a great life.
I have to say, both the Bennetts are fascinating guys and both great players. And it's been a strange year for the Seattle defense. They've been a 58-minute defense for the majority of the year. And last week, I think it was a microcosm of their season. They forced 2 turnovers late in the game versus Arizona, put 14 points up on the board. They're up, and then they give it up. What's the problem? Well, they're not as strong in the opposite corner away from Sherman. 2, I think there's a lot of breakdowns uncharacteristically in communication, and I think players are trying to do more than their job, coming off their assignment, trying to do somebody else's assignment. Certainly an offense would help, but this defense to me is still, talent-wise, one of the elite defenses in football.
They take on San Francisco later on today on Fox. Real quick, Jay mentioned it earlier. Colin Kaepernick, you think he's done in San Francisco?
Yes. I would say so. Yeah. You can't correct it.
The more interesting question is, if he is, where does he go?
Yeah.
That's the fascinating talent. Yeah,
a lot of talent.
Hey, one of the other late games, really, a battle for first place in the NFC North, America's game of the week. Minnesota, who's won 5 straight, hosting a Green Bay team, Jimmy, who's lost 3 in a row.
Well, Green Bay only scores 16 points against Detroit. They got Aaron Rodgers, maybe the best quarterback in the entire league. 44% of the time, they're 3 and out. Why aren't they moving the football? Well, so much been made of Jordy Nelson not being there, but the reality is nobody has stepped up. Teams are playing a 1-free man coverage underneath, and none of their wide receivers can get open deep. They can't separate. They're not being able to run the football against 5 up front. It's really a tough time because nobody took the place of Jordy Nelson.
Well, somebody just ought to.
Right.
By golly, let's just step up there. You can't run the football. I don't understand. Lazy. You know what? One of the things you have to question sometimes is someone's toughness. And I don't know Eddie Lacy, but I'm wondering, I don't know. Why isn't he playing well? If a guy comes in overweight, reportedly overweight, does that tell you that he is unprofessional? It does to me.
That's not toughness.
Yeah, that's not
commitment.
toughness.
That's commitment.
That's commitment.
Okay. Yeah. And so, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong, America. I'm wrong.
America.
At least you admit,
if they can't run, exactly. I'm doing it right here on the air. If you can't run the football, and they do like to run the football in Green Bay.
61 times last week.
That's just so uncharacteristic. They can't continue to do that. I'm going to tell you something else. They all normally win against the Vikings, but I tell you, if they lose 4 in a row, this thing could implode on. This could get ugly in Green Bay. Serious.
Well, they can't protect Aaron Rodgers either. They haven't protected him well the last few games. But on the flip side, the Minnesota Vikings, Bridgewater's done a great job of managing the game. When you look at all the other starter quarterbacks in the league, his numbers aren't gaudy at all. I mean, because they can't protect him up front. They love to throw the ball deep to Wallace, but can't have enough protection to do that. They lost Lode Holt, and they also lost their center, Sullivan, so that's added to the problem. But one thing they've done a great job of, they rely on Adrian Peterson. I mean, who wouldn't? 30 years old, running like he's 22 years old.
Getting better.
And Cordero Patterson has done a great job. He's had a real resurgence of putting him in great field position, so you don't have to drive the length of the field. And on top of it, they have a great defense. I mean, the defense is only giving up 16.9 points a game, Jimmy, and that's good going against a struggling Green Bay team.
Michael Strahan did a good job of telling us who's in and who's out for the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why don't we rely on Jay Glazer to give us who's in and out around the rest of the league, brought to you by DraftKings. Jay.
All right, look, we're going to start with that game where John Fox goes against his old team. The Chicago Bears, he is not going to have his starting running back, Mac Forte, still out with that MCL. And Alshon Jeffrey, who's been in and out all year, he is today. Well, against his former team, Emmanuel Sanders, they ran him on the field in pregame warmups. Didn't go well, so the Broncos have deactivated him. The Dallas Cowboys, we talked about Romo earlier. Their running back, Darren McFadden, pulled his groin in practice on Wednesday. They limited him Thursday and Friday. He is active today. You see him out there. The big issue is, though, because where the injury is, you never know if that muscle is going to re-grab. Also, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Vincent Jackson, he's been out for a while. He returns to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And finally, guys, big news here, a big boost for the St. Louis Rams defense. They get back their defensive end, Chris Long. In fact, I talked to Chris this morning exclusively in an exclusive interview that only I can get here on Fox because I have a lot of communication with Chris Long that nobody else has over here at Fox. That's what I do, America. That's what I do.
There you go.
Why is your head down, Howard?
Oh, God.
All right. Hey, by the way, it's never too late to enter your picks for the $100,000 Fox Sports Sunday kickoff game at DraftKings.com. Just use /Fox Sports. It also might be a good time to pick the Chiefs or the Bears or several other teams around the league who seem to be turning their seasons around right now. No one more excited to share those comeback stories than our own Rob Riggle.
Hey kids, are you ready for story time? Yeah! Do you like football? Yeah! Do you like Troy Aikman? Yeah! But he's too hard to book. So please welcome Rob Riggle.
Hey kids! All right. Before I get started today, you probably want to know who I'm picking this week. Well, it's the Cardinals and the Packers.
No one cares.
Well, some people do.
Do they though?
Anyway, jerks, I'm going to read from my new book today. Maybe you don't stink. Yeah, go ahead. The are nosediving, but the Vikings are in sync. This season's crazy, little Bills fan, and maybe you don't stink. Children, we have seen Manning benched and Aaron Rodgers bested. We're spotting Raiders fans everywhere, and not just when we get arrested. With Cousins downright competent and the Bears better than you'd think. Take a moment and realize, fans, maybe you don't stink. But there's not just joy, young eaglet. Did you see that Sanchez pass? I'd prefer a classic Sanchez fumble on the ground or up his...
Master, wake up. This dummy's talking about Sanchez.
Meanwhile, elsewhere in the East, Romo's back to play. And all hope rests on his shoulders and his oh-so-fragile vertebrae. And I have not forgotten you, young Saints fan. You're understandably depressed. But you did just dump Rob Ryan, so maybe you'll stink less.
Beautiful.
Well, I don't know if it's true. Even with much less stinkiness than we all once feared, people are still freaking out about things both odd and weird. A few people lost their minds about some dumb red Starbucks cup. People, the AFC South champ gets a home playoff game. Now that's what I call messed up. Did you see that game the other night? Did you see those uniforms? Look like Baby Blue playing Baby Pooh.
Hey, man, clean it up. There's children here.
Do you guys have any questions before we make this guy leave?
Did Terry Bradshaw like your book?
He loved it.
So he does know how to read?
I didn't say that.
That's 2 shots at you today. I don't like that.
That's all right.
Let's get to our Built Ford Tough Picks officially. Rob likes the Cardinals in a lock and the Packers in an upset. Lead dog Jimmy, go.
I'm going Philadelphia with my lock, and Terry and Howie 1 point behind me, so a strange pick. I'm going to go San Diego with an upset.
Almost like you're throwing it.
They're 1 point behind you, but I'm coming up. I'm coming. I feel it. My locker, I have the Arizona Cardinals, and in my upset, I have the Green Bay Packers.
Good. I got Philly in a lock. Jimmy talked me into it with Sanchez, and I got St. Louis on the road versus Baltimore.
Excellent choice. I'm going to go with New England because I love people that are undefeated. I'm going with New England, and then my upset, America.
The one you look at.
Green Bay. The one I practice is Green Bay. Y'all think I didn't know, don't you?
The one you're so committed to, you had to find a piece of paper where you wrote it down underneath the other piece of paper. That's America's Game of the Week. That comes up later. If you're one of the folks getting that game, come on back with us. Everyone else, the kickoff is next. The Cowboys, well, they didn't weather the storm, if you will, without Tony Romo, but will his return bring back the thunder?